Hello and welcome to Stage 7 of Hybrid Highway, where I'm going to finally spend this, which is something you can earn in the new version of this update. Okay, so this is the race that decides it all. I know it doesn't look that way, but this is it. This is where all the strategy is. I actually did Stage 7 twice, because this is the critical event. So I bought more upgrades to finish this because I hate skipping. However, we're also going to look at the skipping strategy. Okay, you got to be doing this all out bonkers right from the start of the race. I've tested how much off track I could get. It's about 1.5 seconds. I'm going to take some of it here and just blast by all of this, because even with extra upgrades, I cannot hit the speed target here without help. Like, I can hit it, but I can't stop. Even if I throw it sideways. Once in a while, I did it by bashing into a wall and getting a lucky bounce back on track, but then you got to do that a second time. Forget about it. Ain't gonna happen. So, even at this rate, I'm gonna be hucking it sideways a little bit, backing up a little bit, and it's like, oh man, this is crazy. What are you doing, ME7? I'm trying to pass a stage, man, without spending like hundreds of gold. So, this is why you watch my channel, for like weird crazy stuff, you know, and fun, and all sorts of weird voices and entertainment. Okay, now that corner, that has become my favorite corner at Hockenheimring, because you can really gain on the bots at that corner. With the proper trajectory, it's just awesome. And yes, I am still drifting my butt around. And it's just, I've been driving this thing so hard. So I'm pushing it so stinking much, and you can just see I'm losing it all over the place, and there I'm off track. So I'm like, oh man, do I even have 0.2 of a second left? So I gotta be really careful here, because I need to be in front of him again. I gotta get in front of this guy. Come on, you LaFerrari, get out of my way. I think that's a LaFerrari. I think so. And then I kind of blow it, but that's okay, because I need him on my rear end right from the start of this corner. I need him to push me like crazy, but this time around, I need to be able to get on the brakes and control him, because I'm not going to be able to catch up again. So I've got to be very careful. A little throw sideways, but I got to dominate the lane. Oh, come on, nuts! Okay, so I got to get him back, and I've got really one corner where one or two corners I could pull that off. Here I'm going in late. That wasn't the best corner. Wow. The LaFerrari has wonderful grip and decent brakes, and so that was risky. This isn't no damage stage, but that just means you just can't crack your windshield. It's been a long time since we had an actual no touching stage. So there you go, guys. Really difficult. This is a really difficult race, and that's it. I tried drafting behind cars, but they're too fast. They drive away. You got to make them push you. At least that's what I had to do. So there we go. That's the first race. Now I'll show you the upgrades that I needed to use to finish this first race of Stage 7. Near the end of the video, I'll show you that I did it without the extra upgrades. There you go. All right, let's get on to race number 2. This one is also tricky. Again, not really near as hard though. You could do this with a lot less upgrades. So you've got 150 seconds to pass the first 2 cars. Well, you already know what I'm gonna do. 150 seconds is really quite a long time. That's 2.5 minutes. So that's like 1.5 laps of Hockenheimring. Oh, what was I doing? You know what? You don't need to take any cuts to pull this off, I don't think. Although, I mean, that is a Ferrari FXXK, so it is a monster of a car. Top speed of 403 kilometers an hour, I believe. Substantially more grip. It's a way better car than this Lamborghini. And I decided I didn't want him to bother me again. Did you notice that? The pit maneuver. Now again, if you're doing the pit maneuver and it's failing you, Tilt B controls will make it easier for you. I have recently successfully done it with Tilt A, so I think they might have lowered the damage you can take by doing a pit maneuver. A person who commented on my video said, oh, it's easy to do the pit maneuver with Tilt A, and I was like, yeah, I know, I used to do it a lot, but I'd always get damaged. Well, I did get away with it. However, Tilt B, I could pit 4, 5, 6 cars during a race without ever getting damaged. The secret is you let off the throttle right as you're turning them. So again, secret to a pit maneuver is you want to try to just lightly contact the rear quarter panel and then turn them, just letting your finger off the throttle just as you start to turn them. So here, I mean, I've got a massive lead. Maybe I should let them catch up a little bit, but I'm not going to do that till near the end of this lap. And it looked like I was nicely gaining on the guy in front of me, so honestly, it's quite possible you wouldn't have to take any cuts at all. But again, if you're trying to do this with the alternative strategy, which the alternative strategy is to skip race number 1. I hate skipping. But anyway, because I did spend 80 gold, and skipping is 80 gold. So why skip? When you might say, well, because it's super hard. Okay, I get that. But I'd rather own the upgrades. But nevertheless, I'm not going to say that you can't do that. It's a reasonable strategy. If it works for you, no problem with me, man. If you're low on gold, or if you just would rather skip a really, really hard stage, believe me, I get it. So please don't think I'm pressuring you to never skip. Personally, I don't like skipping. That's all. So there you go. Here you can see there's no one near me. I mean, I probably should just reel him in a little bit so I don't increase the bot difficulty too much. There he is. Wow. Dragging way behind there. I was going to try to drift the whole corner. Oh, I didn't quite do it. I'm going to try that again if I get a chance to just drift that entire section. I'd love to pull it off. There we go. Reeled them back in a little bit. Hopefully that keeps things reasonable. That does it for race number 2. Now, race number 3, the description, the first description here, that's goofy. It said you have to finish the next 2 laps in 80 seconds, and that could be misconstrued. It's 80 seconds per lap, which is a minute 20. But even then, it's not quite accurate. So it seems like what it did, you'll just see what I'm talking about here. Now, I wasn't going to take any chances. Whoa, that's on the razor edge. Holy smokes, was that on the razor edge of going off track. Now, I've never been at a proctologist, and you might think that's a strange thing to say, ME7. Why are you saying that? Because I would not want a Koenigsegg Regera breathing on my rear end like this. This is a monster of a car, substantially overpowering my Lamborghini. So I'm going to let him go, and I'm forcing him into a funny line, so he got all loose. And look, he doesn't exactly speed away, which is kind of surprising to me. Here's the reason why I'm doing that. They warn you about the pack getting backed up here, and there's a couple of Acura NSX, I want to say Acuras, and they start stacking up the field, so it can get a little bit tricky to finish your laps in a minute 20. But here you go, one of them wrecks off track, and then you got to watch it, and I have to get into 4th place yet. But look, there is 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. I could easily be into 1st place by the first corner, and you know how I'm going to do that, don't you? Don't you? Hey, I almost drove. Oh my gosh, I didn't intend to do that. Okay, let's shove this Regera into the grass. Come on, man. There you go, and I'll carefully do this. Oh, that was a little bit too long off track. I mean, obviously not, but I'm shocked I didn't fail. Okay, so I'm in 1st place. I don't really want to be in 1st place because it says I only have to be in 4th, and I don't want to necessarily crank up the bots if I don't have to. So Dr. Regera is breathing down the back again. And sorry guys, if you found those other comments a little bit harsh, please forgive me. It's still a G-rated channel. I used proper medical terms. Okay. So I'm keeping my eyes on that FXXK back there. I'd like to let him overtake me, but not if he's stuck in a whole gaggle. I don't want to let one guy past and then have 3 or 4 more follow him. So I'm going to keep my eyes on him. If he breaks away from the field, I will let him pass. Because then I'm closer to finishing back into 4th position where I want to finish. You can win if you want to, but you do risk increasing difficulty going forward. So here I'm letting the FXXK pass nice and clean. You got to get way out of their way, or they're going to slow down and then everyone else will catch up. Right about now, I'm sweating it because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go over a minute 20, but I think they add 80 plus 80 and give you 160 seconds to finish the race. I think that's what they meant to put in that first screen, not 80. There we go, guys. not much to see there. Just get into first place. Okay, I generally like to be into first place, so I think I will go for it, first place. Now, turn down right away. Give him a little tap. He'll get on the brakes. And, you know, Ahmed's a gentleman, so he'll give you the lane if you give him a little bit of a smack. And then you just do some careful blocking. You don't have to hit you. If they hit you, you'll fail from damage. I hate that. It happened to me a few times. And then it's just a matter of get up there. Do a little bit of careful racing. Like, we've got a couple of laps to do this in. Well, not really, I guess. What am I saying, a couple of laps? An out lap and then one full lap, and I'm in 4th place. So, not necessarily easy, but look, I'm gaining pretty fast. Very doable with less upgrades. I know, because I did it. And I'm losing it on that corner. So, still, again, there's off track you can take. Now, I was gaining nicely without doing any off track, but yeah, let's go do some lawnmower mode. It's actually just a real tiny bit if you do this correctly, which was pretty close. And almost in first place. Got, what do I have? Oh, it's an Asturian Lamborghini. Yeah. Oops. Man, did I ever blow that corner. Wow. Interesting thing with those is that they have pretty good grip. Gosh, he's taken off on me. And now I've got to defend against Dr. Regera again. What's with you, man? Mind your manners. Good grief, man. I drifted it a little bit, drove it in a little bit deep. You know, I think I'm going to be able to do this. Right? Doesn't it look like it? Like, you know. Now, this corner is tough in this car. On the brakes a long time. You want to get a nice arc now. Look at this. Watch this beautiful corner. Tiny lift. I didn't brake at all. Watch the gains. And then heading into the hairpin, I'm going to set up a bit of a bump pass. So brake just a little bit late. I don't want to hit him too hard or I'm going to fail. Perfect. I just hit him enough to mess up his braking point a little bit, which allowed me to overtake him. And I got to be careful here. I should really be defending my line better, but yeah, because he's not very far behind me. You'll notice I'm running in miles per hour today. That's because of that first goal where I wanted to see the 200. Easier to see 200 than some weird number in kilometers per hour. Okay, and here I'm extremely disappointed because they did this to us once before, and a lot of us said, don't do this. Don't end a series by saying give up first place, like lose the race. Don't get me wrong, this is a fun race. I like this type of a race. I don't like it as a finale. But oh well, this is what we've got to deal with, because once you've gone through all this, I want to win. So it's kind of frustrating you've got to lose. Okay, well, let's see, try that. Oh, I didn't do that. We're going to be trying that again yet. So at some point, I've got to let the cars catch up and do a combination of, oops, that was kind of stupid. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't fail. I got to do a combination of blocking or pit maneuvers to make it so that Ahmed is in the lead. And so we'll figure out a way to do that. Here I'm doing a lot of blocking, stacking up the field a little bit. And who's that? Magnus is here. Oh, I'd love to get a pit maneuver in on Magnus. Let's see if I can set that up. Come on. What's with you? Pass. Uh-oh. Now we got a gaggle. This could be messy. 3 cars. Oh, no. This is not good. Oh, my God. Oh, I can't believe I didn't fail that one. Now, this worked out. Wow. Well, that's amazing. That worked out very nicely. Now, I gotta get in a pit maneuver on Magnus. Like, there we go. So here we are. This is it. That's what you gotta do. There's other ways to do it, but I just find this really goofy as a finale. Not my way to end this. Now, again, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove to you, I'll show you my upgrades when this is done, and I'll get into the costs. And then I'll give you a very short clip of me finishing this event the first time with less upgrades. So you'll see. Okay, check this out. Drifting, 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 drifting! All the way through the corner. There, at least did that for some fun. Because I'm just not impressed with this final stage, guys. Anyhow, there you go. And let's get into the upgrades that I needed and the costs. So there are 671,000 R dollars and 80 gold. That's what I spent to get what you see there. Now, here I am doing this the first time, and I'll show you the upgrades I have for here. So here I got Zoe right behind me, so I had to defend my line. And there you go, drove that one a lot cleaner. So this is where I skipped the first race, all right? And then I did a restore when this was all done, but I skipped the first race. So look at that, 329,000 R dollars and 80 gold for a skip. So now again, it's quite hard, but you could do it either way. I like the way I did it. Here's the playlist link. Here's something else for fun. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe. See you later.